Good morning, guys. You're eating a biscuit, and Hannah and Zeke are doing school. I'll give you a biscuit after you're done with your schoolwork, okay? We had a late start this morning. For those of you that follow me on Twitter, thank you for praying for Hallie last night. We made it through the night. I'm contemplating if I should call and get steroids again for her, because that's how we had to kick her croup the last time she had it. And I really don't want to have to call them.
I had it last night too.
No, you didn't have croup last night. I really don't want to have to put her back on steroids because it's not the healthiest thing for her. But, I mean, that's what kicked her croup last time. So we're trying to take things slow this morning and, well, I guess not really slow. I'm slowing down finally. I've kind of already worn myself out with a bunch of stuff that I've gotten done. I need to talk with Nicole and figure out the best way to be able to reserve my energy and how to set up the day for me to have the best energy. Today's gonna be a rest day for me, and
Hallie kept me up all night long.
Hallie kept you up all night long too. Maybe it'll be nap time for everybody today. Would that be good?
I think I slept in this morning.
Oh, so are you well rested then?
Yeah.
Oh, how the tables turn when a nap is mentioned. How are you doing? You're 2. That's how old are you? Say, when someone says, how are you? You can say good, or happy, or sad. How are you doing?
Oops. The kids are coming apart whenever I bring it down.
The kids are getting ready to go to the park with Miss Nicole.
And I'm gonna bring my scooter.
You're gonna bring your scooter?
I wanna bring my bike.
And Hannah's tying her shoes all by herself. Good job. And I am putting oils on Zeke's feet because with Hallie having croup, I've been oiling all the kids' feet up, hoping to prevent anybody else from getting croup like what happened last time. I think everybody but Toby got croup.
Hello.
Look who I found today.
I'm so tired.
How was your day?
Good.
Used too many words today.
I talked to a lot of people for a long time, and I'm also tired because I was up with Hallie so much last night.
Yeah, Tim's a good dad.
Went to bed at 3:30 a.m. and then woke up for meetings.
Well, from all the comments that I've read on the last video, the number one thing people want to know is how did we meet?
Which version?
Some people said both, but most people just want the real deal.
The real version? I was in Texas. I was in Pennsylvania. Dana was in Texas. You were in
8th grade.
8th grade. And I was
A junior in high school.
Junior in high school. And we were both listening to this radio show that was syndicated across the country. It was a show called Z-Jam. And Christian music radio show. They had a state-of-the-art chat room, which for those of you who remember back in those days, it was an IRC chat room. Dana was listening to the radio show in Texas, and she was in their chat room on their website. I was in the chat room up in Pennsylvania listening to the same Christian music radio show. And she was Texas Star, TX Star, and I was JC Rules with a Z. And I don't remember
any of our conversations in there.
I don't remember how we started talking or why we started talking or anything like that, but that's where we met, basically. And then what happened?
And then we had a conversation on the phone at some point, I think.
Whoa, you're skipping way ahead. Didn't it go to AOL Instant Messenger then after that?
No, I want to say it was still IRC chat room because I got on the radio show one time.
Oh yeah, you have that fake southern drawl.
It was so embarrassing. Yeah, and you thought it was cute.
I was like, yeah, it sounds cute.
So I thought we had maybe you had called me, but I couldn't talk back to you. And I remember trying to type back a conversation to you.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. It wasn't on the phone. It was like this service.
You had a microphone on your computer.
Yeah, it was like the service on the computer, like a voice chat thing. I remember that now. It wasn't the phone though.
It was state of the art.
Yeah, but it was terrible. So So yeah, so
Was
but
that
we didn't,
before
but we didn't
AOL?
really talk though. It was kind of like
No.
I heard something, but it was through like I had dial-up internet then,
And I had high speed.
and that was the
didn't
first
I?
time I ever heard of high speed. I was like, what is this? You don't have to dial in? So I remember that now. But yeah, so but then I
then
went to AOL
AOL
Instant Messenger,
and then we lost track of each other.
Yeah, we talked there for a little while. Like, actually, for a while we talked, but that was like in junior high and high school, and there was no romantic interest at all at that point.
Pretty much at that point was like Tim was this like guy that I could go to and dish all my dirt to and get advice from because
Yeah,
there was no way I would ever meet him. So he was like a safe person to talk to and tell
About all your problems,
all my drama, all my junior high school
and
drama.
I would give her sage advice.
Yeah.
No, probably not. If I would go back,
I don't
I think I
remember.
have some of those old chats saved on my computer.
What?
So. No, actually, the ones I saved were from when we were dating. Never mind. So then what
Fast
happened?
forward
Yeah.
to you moving to Texas.
Oh yeah, so we lost touch after a while. We just kind of stopped talking, and I stopped getting AOL Instant Messenger. You took me off your buddy list because we didn't talk anymore.
I don't like clutter, which has been like our house lately of like going through everything, just throwing stuff away, and it's the same with me on a computer. Like, just get rid of stuff. If I don't talk to you, I'm just gonna delete you off because there's no reason to keep you.
So then I moved to Dallas, Texas, to go to grad school, and when I moved there, I didn't know anybody. I was bored.
Living
one
in a very
night.
shady apartment
Yeah.
that you rented out.
So I was like, man, what should I do? I'll get AOL Instant Messenger. I've been on for a while. And this was 2000.
I was a sophomore in college, I think.
2002.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
sounds right.
And so I got on AOL Instant Messenger, and I was like, oh, I remember this person. And talked to her for a while. I popped up, and you were like, who are you? Like, I had to remind her who I was and how we knew each other. She's like, oh yeah, hi. Something like that. So I remember it. And but you were a youth worker at your dad's church.
Not
at that
yet.
time.
I was still out in West Texas at school when we got back in touch.
Okay.
And
What
then I got into the wrong crowd over there and ended up transferring schools because I knew that I wouldn't be able to get back on the right track and stay at that school. So I transferred. We were still in touch. I transferred, or I didn't even transfer. I just quit school there and moved back home with my parents and became the youth intern at my dad's church. And didn't know what I was doing with youth ministry. The only person I knew in youth ministry was Tim to get advice from. I was like, hey, I know this guy that does youth ministry stuff. So I got in touch.
Talked on
again
AOL Instant Messenger
a
about
lot.
youth ministry stuff, and then that's when I remember the first phone call. Phone conversation was about youth ministry stuff because we were talking about
Oh, yeah.
this would be easier. Like, we're like kind of adults now. Let's just talk on the phone. And so we did that, I think.
And then your church was looking to hire possibly a female assistant
Yeah,
that
so we talked
summer
about
or
that for a
something.
little
So we
bit,
talked
but
about that possibility.
That didn't happen though.
And that fell through, but I was still at this point during this whole like youth ministry phase, I started getting interested in Tim. And at that point I was like, well, how about I just come up and hang out?
Yeah,
Just
you're
for
like,
fun.
I'm coming through Dallas,
Yeah,
which you kind of weren't really.
I was going to hang out with some friends. I was down in the Houston area at this time, and I was going to hang out with friends out in
Tyler.
East Texas and Tyler, and which is like 3 hours away from Tim.
So she said she was coming through Dallas, but she basically, like, instead of just
I did
coming
a-
here, she went up and over.
I did a triangle. Well, I went to Tyler
It was
first.
kind of on the way.
I did go to Tyler first, and then I did a detour out to Dallas. Didn't tell my parents because my detour was because I was meeting some guy off
Dad,
the internet.
can I go meet this stranger on the internet that I've been talking to since junior high? You
Yeah. So
probably should have told him. Actually, you definitely should
I
have
should
told
have told my dad.
him. Hannah and Hallie, totally. Tell us first.
Any of you people, talk to your parents.
Yes.
So
that part,
I started.
That's part that we usually take out of, like, the safer version, but that's really legit what happened.
Yeah, and on the way to meeting him, we were planning on meeting at like a Burger King or something. I think.
Gas station.
Well, that's where we ended up meeting because
Oh.
there was
Oh, I don't
like
know. I don't
detours
remember.
and construction and stuff. But while I was driving over there, I started getting nervous, and I was like, I really don't know this person. Like, I've talked to them since I was in 8th grade, kind of. But I've never met him, and I've never met anyone online before. And this could go really bad. So I called a friend, like my best friend that I had just made that summer, and let her know. I was like, this is what I'm doing, and just so somebody knows in case something goes wrong, I just wanted to tell you what I'm doing. So she was the only one that knew that I was going to meet Tim.
So she's like all freaking out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we met at a gas station because the place I guess we were going to meet at didn't work. And I think it was construction or something. So we met at the gas station, and she got out of her car, and I was like, oh, not bad.
Much better than the pictures you've seen.
Yeah, she showed me one picture when she was in junior high, and I was unimpressed.
Oh, we could show that picture.
Just to be honest.
That right there is the first picture that Tim ever saw of me when I was in 8th
That's
grade.
the only picture I've seen of you.
The only one?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's the only picture I've ever seen of you until we met in person. So I was like, okay, well, she's friendly. She's a good personality.
There's my desk. Look at that old school computer monitor.
That's where we sat when we talked to each other. That's where you sat.
This is the same desk, but this is in a different house.
Oh, okay.
So, but I sat at that desk, though, and chatted to you. Man, I remember that.
So we hung out that day in Dallas.
To make me sound a little bit better, instead of just sneaking off and meeting some guy online, the thing that did make me feel okay about going and meeting you was that evening we were going to go to your small group Bible study. And then that night, I was spending the night at a family's house from your church that thought we were like...
friends for a long time. Because we were, but we didn't tell them it was the first time we were met in person.
Until like a year or two later.
It's a Sadie story.
So you put me at somebody's house. I didn't know if I
knew them. I would have felt safe with staying at their house.
But would you have... But if you were them... and you knew the real thing about the story, would you want me staying at your house?
They know the story now, and they're fine with it, so. So then we hung out, like, that first day, and then the next day, and then you left, and then you came back, like, a week later, like, would it be too soon to come back and hang out? I'm like, no. So we hung out again that week, and then we decided to start dating.
Not really. But it's kind of what happened.
It kind of fell into that.
Because we were taking pictures. I want these pictures. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to go find pictures. Where would those pictures be? Upstairs. You're lucky. I even found a bonus picture. So we showed you a picture of what I looked like. The first picture that I saw of Tim, or that Tim saw of me. This is the first picture that I saw of Tim.
What?
I'm pretty sure. I think you had that on your website or something.
That's creepy. That's my old hat. I remember that hat. Wow.
I think that was like on your website.
That's how I monitor my progression through life. Is the hats I was wearing.
And this is the first day that we met in the people's house that I stayed at.
Why am I acting like that?
I don't know.
And what you're like this guy.
Oh, it was the overalls. I remember those.
Yeah. You were good looking except for the overalls. I was like, all she needs is a straw hat and a blade of wheat coming out of her
They were khaki overalls. They were very fashionable.
Yeah.
So, okay, back to where we were. So a week after we had first met, I went back up there and we were hanging out and we decided to take a picture. We went for a walk around a little park and we stopped at a willow tree and we were taking pictures.
That's a really tight hug for being friends.
That's for like, just meeting a week before.
I mean, we had talked for a long time. Does that matter?
So we took, I don't know. So we took that picture and then we were done taking pictures and Tim kept his arm around me. While you were talking. Yes, I so know you did.
I'm not arguing. I don't remember.
So he still had his arm around me, just talking. Blah, 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 blah. So I was like, well, if he still has his arm around me,
she went like
I
this.
put my hand up to
and then I was like, it's like, what's happening?
And then from it just, I don't know.
And then you didn't let go, and then I was like, oh shoot, what am I getting myself into?
So we weren't technically dating at that point, but that's kind of where it started.
Yeah.
So
And so then we had the DTR. I don't even remember when that
I think that was back when I got back home afterwards, because that, like...
And you thought I was dating you because I paid for your dinner that night, but I was
Yes.
just trying to be a gentleman. Like, that's like what I had always done for girls growing up, was like try to open doors, and like, but I guess those things have changed now. Now that means like I'm dating you. So,
It's been like that since you were like a kid.
well, I was homeschooled, so.
So yeah, so that's where it started. And then we officially, I think the next week, or I don't know, when I got home or something, I remember talking on the phone and you officially asked me to be your girlfriend.
Did I?
Yeah.
Okay.
Made it official.
Official. And then we dated for a year and a half.
We did.
And then I broke up with her. And we were broken up for 8 months, which is a whole nother story we won't get into now.
No.
So if you want to know about that story, you can comment below. But I did break up with her. And
It was tough.
it was good and tough at the same
Necessary
time.
and
Yeah,
tough.
it was ended up being good. So we got back together again right after Christmas 2005, before New Year's 2006. And then I proposed in April
Do you-
2006.
Do you remember what day?
Day before your birthday or after your birthday?
22nd.
22nd.
Dude, yeah.
And actually, my proposal video, that is still here on YouTube from way back then.
Is it up? Can I
2006.
see it?
Yeah, because I didn't use any copyrighted music in that
Oh,
one,
good.
thankfully. So that one didn't get taken down. So that video is still here. I'll put a link to it if you want to go watch our proposal video from back then.
The reenactment.
The reenact.
of
Well,
it.
I mean, yeah. But it was that same day. It was just we went back and someone videoed us at that spot. So, and then we went back and reenacted it again, like
With the
years later,
kids.
which is another video I'll link up around here.
You got a lot
Because
of
we
work
went
to
back
do
and
now.
revisited that spot. So we got engaged in April, and then we got married in July.
3 months
3
later.
months later. So it went pretty quick. After we got back together again, we were engaged 4 months later and married 3 months later after that.
Yeah.
So
Because we knew at the point when we started dating again, like we weren't going to start dating unless it was like this is.
yeah, I didn't want to
kind
get
of
myself
thing.
back into what we were in before.
Yeah.
So I was like, the only reason we're getting back together again is because we're gonna get married.
Yeah, but we still had the little like 4 months of
Yeah,
like
just like-
let's just test it and make sure it's
Yeah.
good, and then 4 months later we're like, okay, this is it.
And I put a ring on it. It's holding the camera right now, so I can't show you. Here's mine. So that's how we got together and met and married and everything. So hope you guys enjoyed that. And if you have any other questions, comment below. And we'll try to do them in Friday's vlog for you. So thanks for hanging out, guys. See you later.
See ya. Bye.
Oh, he's doing it by himself. Good, Tubby. Oh, did that burn your belly? Did it slide up and hurt your belly? Oh, good job, big guy. You're so big.